After a long day of saving fried chicken, stopping an inner-city ride, and helping a wannabe princess get her shopping done, our hero headed back to the king's castle for a good night's sleep. Poor Shrek's evening would take a turn for the worse as he stumbled across Fiona's childhood diary. A devastated Shrek spent the night reading about Princess Fiona's dream of marrying a handsome prince with washboard abs, a chiseled chin, impeccable hygiene. In short, the anti-Shrek. Tired of being green and feeling ugly, Shrek decided to take a walk in the woods as his friends tried to cheer him up.
Now, ye ogre, pray for mercy from Puss in Boots. Feel my Caroline tales.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Shrek 2. I don't know why I said it like that. Here is the Puss in Boots level. As you can see, it's Guitar Hero. Because that was the first game ever to make you press buttons as they line up with the thing in some sort of rhythm. This is the first time that ever happened, was a year after this. So it was actually this one. Guitar Hero stole that concept from this. Shrek sued Harmonix for it. Not DreamWorks, Shrek himself sued Harmonix for that. Here, I guess in the next one, or in a minute, I fuck up the timing, and once you do that with one button in this, it's like really easy to do it like 90 more times. And yeah, little Pussy doesn't take very many swipes at you to kill your boy, and as you can probably imagine, the more if you get all your boys knocked out, and you fucking lose. I don't actually know if I ever beat this level before now, like when I was a kid, because this is always like, I may have at some point beaten it, but this was, either way, this was like the part that I would usually play up to when I rented it. And that's probably why I never bought it, because I was like, well, I'm just gonna play 4 levels and then quit because I don't like doing something I'm bad at for that long. And I mean, I thought the rest of the game up to this point was pretty difficult. Like, this was always a fairly hard game to me when I was a kid, and it still has some challenge to it. I've definitely been fucking up at it, but it's not too bad so far. It's definitely getting harder, like in this level that we're gonna do most of in this video, which, as you can see, this video is a bit long because and I don't even get the whole level done because we have to do this shit, and then the next one is pretty lengthy, or at least it took me a long time to do it. Yeah, this is usually where I would stop, and so the next level, if I ever did play it, I don't remember it, so from here on out, after this level, it's pretty much all new territory for me.
My hoof's gonna be barking tonight.
Stand still, I need to maim you.
I need to maim you. It sucks that they couldn't get the original voice actors for this game from the movie. I guess I understand why. I mean, they're pretty, high build actors, all of them, at the time. Pretty much all of them are irrelevant now. I think, actually, of the 4 of them, I think the person who has the most active career in film might be Antonio Banderas, who plays Puss in Boots. Eddie Murphy isn't doing a whole lot. He has the Coming to America sequel, which, from what I understand, was fairly successful, although it's kind of difficult to measure that when it's a streaming only release. I don't really believe like most streaming numbers for some reason. I don't know. streaming a thing on a app is not quite as like concrete a proof of consumption of something, of, you know, I shouldn't say consumption, but of watching a movie as a ticket to a movie is to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that, like, watching it on an app is lesser, necessarily. I mean, you can fucking have that discussion all you want, but, I just mean, like, you know, some things just people stream and they just kind of, like, leave it on. In fact, I would venture to guess that if people are like me, that's most of what they're doing when they stream something. You know what I mean? Whereas if you buy a ticket to a movie, you're at least in the movie. I mean, like, the movie is the main thing happening in the room you're in. Unless you're one of those, like, absolute psychos that fucking, just is on their phone in the movie theater constantly throughout the movie. I haven't encountered that too much, honestly, but whenever I do, it's very annoying, because it's like, why did you pay money to be in here? Did you like, do you usually do this where you just pay $20 to go in buildings and do something that you probably do on your fucking couch all the time? Which, I mean, I guess watching movies is also something you do on your couch on your time, but I mean, looking at your fucking phone, I don't know. I'm not so much of, like, a movie theater, like, purist in terms of, like, the viewing experience, and I really don't believe people when they say that
I am muy macho, no?
that the main reason that they, like, that they don't go to movie theaters anymore, the reason that movie theaters are doing poorly now is because, like, people are measurably worse, like, behaved in movie theaters now than before. Or a more rare version of that complaint is that the movie theaters are, like, dirty and gross now, which that I could probably understand, but that's kind of like a chicken or egg thing, where it's like, well, usually if, you know, movie theaters go to shit, it's because they're, like, understaffed and low on money, which is a sign of them being less successful. So was it like, are they less successful because they're dirty, or are they dirty because they're less successful? Which happened first? Did one beget the other? I don't buy it. And then I don't buy the one about people being, you know, not behaved, because for one thing, it's completely anecdotal. Like, there's no real way to measure, like, audience annoyingness over time, you know? And it's also subjective of what behavior is annoying. I mean, I think most people could agree that you don't want someone, like a baby screaming, for instance, or someone eating really loud right next to you, but I feel like that would probably be the case almost anywhere, you know, that kind of etiquette. But, you know, some people, and, you know, it differs culturally and regionally and whatnot, and contextually for what movie it is and whatever, of whether or not you like, you know, whether or not eating and talking amongst yourself is allowed, you know? Like, if you go to a rowdy screening of a movie, for instance, which can be quite overwhelming, if you're the type of person who likes to watch a movie, then I can't say I super recommend it. Also, unrelated, I apologize if you can hear all of the noise that my neighbors are making. I think someone is moving in upstairs. They had a U-Haul outside, and they've been just, like, stomping up and down the stairs and knocking shit against my front door for like 2 hours, so that sounds like what they're doing. And it sounds like they're, like, moving furniture around and shit upstairs, but it also sounds like they're doing that all the time. And a million fucking people have lived in this apartment during the time that I've lived here. I don't know what's going on anymore, so but all I know is they make noise, and it's just become a background feature of my life, but I don't know how well the mic picks it up, because I've heard it in streams of mine. Anyway, I probably should have cut this out, because I, like, suck dick at doing these teeter-totters, and I kind of just, like, gave up. The timing of it is a little bit weird, and also I didn't notice that, I didn't know what this rope was. It is a Puss in Boots thing, so Puss in Boots would have to be on that one side, and I didn't know that. And once I figured it out, I was like, okay, well, this isn't worth it. It's just for a fucking magic bean and 2 eggs, and that's nice. I like getting coin, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, people being annoying in movie theaters. I don't buy that as a main thing for that. That's the primary reason. Another thing is that, like, the joke of, like, people being rude in movie theaters has been around, like, forever. Like, since they were a thing, like, theater etiquette jokes and whatnot. I mean, they're like old silent comedy movie bits that have stuff about, you know, someone's being annoying in a movie theater, and it's they're eating, or they're talking, or they're getting up and sitting down a bunch, or changing seat, or they're blocking your view and stuff like that. I mean, like, it's not a new phenomenon, because people act like it, like, never happened before, and now, like, just suddenly everyone's a big asshole. But on top of that being said, rather, I do think that one possible explanation for why there may be an anecdotal increase in those incidents for people is precisely because of the problem that we're talking about, which is movie theaters being less successful. I think it could be a product of that, you know, fewer people may take theater going seriously, watching a movie seriously, and that I think you could make a possible argument for. I don't think you would have any, like, real good evidence in terms of, you know, again, trends over time necessarily, but I think you could make the argument that, you know, with streaming and everything, that may have fostered a general increase in the attitude of, like, oh, well, something's just on when you're in a movie theater, so I'm just gonna, like, sit on my phone and, like, talk to my friends. Because some people do that. And it's a lot of young people in movie theaters where it's usually young people when this is happening, or, like, 95-year-old ladies, but that doesn't happen that much to me. Where, you know, they get to the movie and they're just, like, having a full-on conversation about just other shit, like like you would if you weren't in a movie. And you're just hanging out with your friend, like, in your house, just having a completely unrelated conversation, and maybe making passing remarks about the movie. And that's super annoying. So yeah, I think maybe you could make that argument, perhaps, but I don't buy it as an explanation for, like, the main reason that movie theaters are doing poorly. But I don't think I need to reiterate what I think those reasons are, because I've made, like, at least 2 fucking, like, 20-minute videos about it, so probably know that shit by now. Anyway, how about this level, huh? I've never played this level before, or if I do, I don't remember doing it. I like the little tiptoe. Also, Puss in Boots' jumping whoosh sound effect, I believe, is the sound effect from the Ratatouille video game, that happens when you're controlling Linguini, and you're doing the one where it's like, you're making, like, the salad, or you're, like, doing the plate, and there's all the different foods around you, and he, like, moves his hand around, and you say yes or no to them, and when he shifts from plate to plate, it makes this whoosh sound, and I think it's the sound that Puss in Boots makes when he jumps, so if I jump as Puss in Boots in a minute, I'll try to be quiet so you can hear it.
They dragons, you know. That's for all the peasants of the world. How's that hook? Like their power!
Oh, good day, cheerio. Aren't you a sorry lot? Oh, and so good to meet you. Yes. Oh, well, the name's William Gruff, and I wonder if you layabouts might escort me across the bridge. Why, aren't you a bunch of fine fellows?
That goat is really fucking unsettling to me, and I also don't understand his mission, because he comes up again, and I cut out a part, it's coming up in a couple minutes, I cut out a part where I wandered all the way back here to see if he was still there, if he was there again, and he wasn't. Because I swear to God, at some point coming up, he just disappears, and no matter what direction you go in, I don't see him. And then I just kept going through the level, and then later on in the level, I see him again. And it happens again. And then eventually just the level is over. And I don't know if I completed his mission that's called, like, names, butt fucker. Whatever his name is, I forget. Sorry, I'm sorry to be so crude. Yeah, I don't know what his deal is, and his face makes me upset, so not gonna think about the goat. Don't care about the goat, don't care what happens to him. Hope he doesn't come back. I'm sure he will.
Maybe that was a little harsh.
Anyway, other than weird goats and things and big pumpkins, which I like pumpkins. I'm a big fan of pumpkins in video games, in life. I don't really eat very much pumpkin. I like pumpkin pie. I think pumpkin pie is pretty okay, but I don't eat a lot of pumpkin stuff otherwise. Pumpkin bread is pretty good. But yeah, I don't have much pumpkin stuff usually. And I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know if I jumped as Puss in Boots and you could hear his jump. But hopefully you can hear it anyway, and some video game wizard can tell me if it's actually the exact recording or not. I don't know, where do you get these caches of sound effects that are used in lots of different games and stuff? Is there like a public domain or whatever? I mean, I know there's a public domain of sound effects, but you know what I mean? Like, there's a bunch of fucking like Half-Life and like Source Engine sound effects that I've heard in things. Like, there's a what's it called? The like thudding in like in the Source games, Half-Life and Portal and whatnot, like when you fall or whatever, or when blows land, like when you punch someone in TF2 and stuff. That sound effect is in Scott Pilgrim, the movie, so that's an example of what I'm talking about. But yeah, did they have to like buy the rights or whatever? Buy the rights to that was dumb. To the sound effects, you know what I mean? I have no idea. I'm not a video game god. I don't know things. I just ask questions.
I have more muscle in my baby toe.
In my baby toe. Fucking wrecked by Shrek. Something that I thought was silly that I saw on the internet was, and I've seen examples of this a lot, where gamer men that use Twitch get mad about the fact that there are popular Twitch streamers who are ladies with big boobies and or are just hot in general, who, you know, look sexy on stream and like either play a video game or not. They just sit there and watch people give them money and whatnot, and being like, oh no, the sanctity of Twitch.television is torn asunder by titties. And it's kind of like, I don't know. I like, do gamer boys like hot half naked women, like, or do they not? You know what I mean? Like straight gamer boys, like the guys who complain about like Final Fantasy characters not like showing enough booba. Yeah, like you want your anime ladies in your games to look sexy and whatnot, but as soon as a woman streamer is doing it on her Twitch stream and getting a lot of views, it's like, that's unfair. You're just using your attractiveness for profit, and it's like, yeah. And also, how much weirder is it to just sit and watch like a woman be hot on the internet than it is to watch someone play a video game and talk about it or breathe over it, you know? And I mean, I say this as someone who fucking records and streams a bunch of myself playing video games and talking about them and breathing and just sitting and talking and eating Taco Bell. You know, like, it's the internet, bud. There's a lot of just dumb shit that people watch. It's part of the fun. It's part of the charm. And a big category of thing that people like to watch on the internet is women being hot. And there are hot women who want money, who are happy to oblige. And I just think it's a silly thing to complain about. You don't have to look at it if it offends you. If that's one thing. If you like just across the board are like nudity, like you're just pious and you don't like you don't like promiscuity, that's one thing. But I don't think that's the case for most of the people that are complaining about this. But that's just me, what do I know? But I just thought it was funny when I saw it. Cause yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a weird thing to get mad at. Nobody ever accused gamers as a monolith of making very much sense. Once again, I say all of this, of course, with the caveat that if you define gamer honestly in terms of like just encompassing all people who play games on any sort of regular basis, then the meaning of it culturally, the cultural conception of it that you typically think of, which is young men, kind of falls away, becomes less accurate. So, but insofar as when we talk, talking about gamers as they are stereotypically, culturally defined. I missed a fucking eyeball. What are you doing? What are you doing, Tim? You gotta get the eyeballs. They're your snacks. You're not gonna have a fucking snack for the trip. Anyway, I died doing this a couple times. It took me way too long to figure out that there's a fucking lever up there, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? And then Donkey was just like hanging out and not moving forward. I'm just like really awesome at this game. Don't remember what I was just saying, because I have trash brain, but it doesn't really matter because the video is about to end. Kind of an abrupt ending here because this video is getting too long already and there's much more of this level to do. So we are going to be doing that next week. In the next video, we will continue going through the epic jungle of Shrek. So see you then for that.